Well, the House is set to vote today on the $3 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill. Speaker Pelosi says that she knows it's a long shot, but calls it a starting point for negotiations with Senate Republicans and the White House. Joining us now is Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise, the House Republican whip. Good morning to you, Congressman. Great to see you. So first off, what do you think of this $3 trillion bill? Good morning.
Well, as Senator Mitch McConnell said, it's dead on arrival. The president never was even consulted. They never worked with Republicans. So clearly Pelosi didn't take this serious. She wanted to just throw out a big, socialist spending bill, a grab bag of all kind of crazy things like paying illegals, doing bailouts to states that were already failed before COVID-19, to just throw $500 billion to states that had already wrecked their economy. I mean, why don't we be smart about helping work with businesses to get back up and running, families that want to get back out and get their chance at the American dream again, and safely do that. You're seeing so many states, by the way, safely reopening. 36 have already done it. My home state of Louisiana is reopening in phase 1 today safely. People know how to go out and be around other people again in a safe way and start getting the economy going again. But look at some of the studies that have come out recently. Johns Hopkins, Stanford, others talking about the negative impact to people's health of shutting in. You're talking about over 1 million children that will die because they weren't getting immunizations. They're predicting a measles outbreak in 6 months because people aren't taking care of their health right now because they're being shut in. There's another cost to this that's also got to be recognized. And then you look at states that are safely reopening. That's where our focus needs to be, is helping people get back out safely so that they can go about their ways of life again.
But I'm sure that you would acknowledge there are some essential pieces of this, like helping out the meat industry, as we do face a meat shortage in some capacity in this country because of the shutdowns. Congressman Dan Kildee joined us earlier on this program, and he points out not only that, but also the critical testing aspect of this bill that he says is essential. Here's Dan Kildee.
That's the piece of it that is so critical, because if we do more of that, it allows us to open the economy up, and I think in a much more robust way, which then would minimize the need for some of these benefits that have been the source of so much discussion and controversy.
So Nancy Pelosi said this is a starting off point. Mitch McConnell says it's highly likely there will be a new bill. So what ultimately would you support, and what kind of help do you think needs to get out to the American people and businesses? As you know, millions are struggling.
Right. And maybe Nancy Pelosi and some of those others forgot that we've already voted to pass over $2 trillion in relief, including, by the way, Sandra, billions of dollars that we passed for testing. You can see every day we're getting about 300,000 more tests a week online. We need to keep working on that. You saw the president yesterday in Pennsylvania touting a company that's making PPE here in America. So we're bringing a lot of that back from China. Why isn't Nancy Pelosi working to hold China accountable? For some reason, she called China a distraction. No, China created this and hid from the world what was happening. And by the way, they're holding back our PPE that's being made over in China. So we're now making more of our own things here that can save American lives. And we spent billions of dollars already that was passed in bipartisan legislation. How about they work with us on making that money work properly to get more testing, to get more PPE made in America, and to help families get back on their feet again? That's where their focus should be, not giving hundreds of billions of dollars to failed states and billions of dollars to people that are here illegally, when Americans who are sitting at home and maybe losing their job don't want to see that happen to our economy. They know we can safely reopen.
So that's the aspect of the plan that you don't like. When it comes to the politics of this, Nancy Pelosi, the Wall Street Journal editorial board takes up Nancy Pelosi's proposal in this new piece this morning, and I want to get your response to it. It's titled Pelosi's Presidential Platform. Her latest $3 trillion House bill is Joe Biden's real agenda for 2021. It talks about them introducing this and has it having little to do with fighting COVID-19. It writes, this is Nancy Pelosi's agenda for 2021, when she expects Democrats will run the entire government and she'll be the de facto president. How do you respond to that, Congressman?
Well, Sandra, Nancy Pelosi wrote most of this bill in her kitchen in San Francisco. There were no hearings in Washington. There was no outreach to Republicans. So clearly they didn't take this serious because they knew it wasn't going to pass. But they did take their cues from Joe Biden. You know, in whatever basement he's in, given his occasional press conferences, he did say he wanted more than $2 trillion in the next round. And so lo and behold, a bill shows up just 2 days ago. That's $3 trillion. Is that any surprise? But that's not the way you make policy. And by the way, that doesn't help families get back on their feet. That doesn't help small businesses stay afloat. You've seen the reports. Maybe 25% of all restaurants won't reopen. There are serious things happening that are devastating people. Yeah. Suicides are on the increase. We've got to safely reopen, like, by the way, the 36 states that have proven how to do it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are templates out there of how to do it. CDC just today issued new guidelines, updated guidelines on how to safely reopen. Yeah. We need all these other states that are failing to recognize that states are doing it successfully. And by the way, they're lowering the curve. They're not seeing spikes in their hospitals, which was the initial concern. That's not a concern now in those states. Let's show other people how we can safely reopen.
While a lot does look optimistic, so many of the doctors, even that we've spoken to this morning, it will take time to assess how those reopenings are going over the next weeks and months. Lastly, the House considering this plan that would allow the chamber to vote remotely amid the coronavirus. Congressman, where would you stand on that?
This is a dangerous precedent. You're talking about changing over 200 years of voting precedent in the United States House of Representatives, where Nancy Pelosi today, again, unilaterally, she didn't reach out and work with Republicans. She's changing the rules of the House today so that literally just 20 members of Congress can constitute a quorum. That's crazy. Out of 435 elected members, we were all elected, she's now passing a rule that literally has Democrats turning their voting card over to Nancy Pelosi. How scary of a thought is that? I'm not turning my voting card over to Nancy Pelosi. I don't know why anybody would vote today to allow that to happen, to have only 20 members on the floor constituting a quorum to do business in the People's House of Representatives. It's never happened before in over 200 years. And that means through world wars, through other pandemics, the Spanish flu, they showed up to work. Today, we're here, by the way. We're here working safely. All the protocols of social distancing are in place. So why she chooses to do this now, where she can literally hold the votes of other members of Congress, that's a dangerous precedent. And frankly, I wouldn't want to have to go home and explain why I turned my card over to her. But a lot of Democrats today are considering voting for a bill that turns their voting card over to Nancy Pelosi.
That's where you stand on that. Congressman Steve Scalise, great to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.